There is a quiet terror that no one prepares you for. The moment you realize you can no longer feel yourself living. You wake up tired. You move through your day as if someone else is operating your body. You speak, but the words sound distant, like echoes of a person you remember but no longer inhabit. You smile because you should. You show up because you must. You function, but you do not feel. Your life continues, but you don't feel present inside it. This is not depression. This is not apathy. This is disconnection, when the self steps out of the body, leaving the performance behind. Tonight, we go into the place where your missing self has been waiting, the fogged mirror. Imagine walking into a dim room at the center of your mind. Cold air, soft shadows, a faint hum of silence. In front of you stands a tall mirror, its surface blurred, fogged, opaque. You walk closer. You wipe the glass. For a moment, you see your outline. Then it fogs again. No clarity, no connection, no recognition. This mirror represents emotional numbness, chronic, overwhelm, survival mode, exhaustion, avoidance, unprocessed feelings, a self you've abandoned. You stand before it, knowing something is missing, not from the mirror, but from you. Disconnection is subtle, silent, easy to hide. It feels like living life on autopilot, feeling like you're watching yourself from outside, not recognizing the person in your own photos, not knowing what you want, no longer feeling excitement, feeling mute inside your own emotions, drifting through conversations, feeling like life is happening far away, being tired without a reason, feeling like the days blend together, responding correctly but not authentically. It's not that you don't feel anything, it's that you feel too far away to interpret what's happening inside you. Disconnection is the slow separation from your own inner world. You don't disconnect by choice. You disconnect because your mind decided it was safer to numb than to feel. You disconnect when overwhelmed. Your emotional system shuts down to prevent collapse. You disconnect when you self-betray. Every time you say yes instead of no, you step further from yourself. You disconnect when you stop listening to your needs. Your body goes silent when it believes your truth will be ignored. You disconnect when you live for others. When your choices aren't yours, your identity becomes fogged. You disconnect when emotions feel dangerous. Numbing becomes protection. You disconnect when survival becomes your primary mode. Life becomes mechanical, functional, empty. Your mind did not disconnect because you failed. It disconnected because you endured too much for too long. You step deeper into the fogged mirror room. Your footsteps echo. Your breath forms a cloud in the air. A low whisper fills the space. You stopped seeing me. You turn sharply. In the corner of the room, someone sits on the floor, knees drawn in, head lowered, breathing softly. You approach slowly. It is you, not the child you were, not the shadow you repressed, but the forgotten self, the version of you left behind when survival became more important than truth. They lift their head. Their eyes hold the exhaustion you've ignored for years. The forgotten self stands. Their voice is soft, gentle, tired. You didn't lose me. You walked away. Your breath catches. They continue. You left me behind every time you hid your emotions. Every time you pretended to be fine. Every time you performed instead of lived. Every time you pushed down your truth because it was inconvenient for someone else. They step closer. You didn't disappear. You disconnected because you didn't feel safe being yourself. The truth hits you. Disconnection wasn't abandonment, it was protection. Your mind preserved you by separating you from the pain of your own reality. The forgotten self places a hand on your chest. A warmth spreads, unfamiliar but welcome. They whisper, "You don't feel disconnected because you are empty. You feel disconnected because you are overwhelmed." Overwhelmed by emotions you never processed, responsibilities piled too high, expectations that suffocated you, decisions made for others, guilt you couldn't name, exhaustion you ignored, truths you suppressed. You didn't lose yourself. Yourself stepped aside so you could keep functioning. They whisper, "I protected you from feeling what you weren't ready to face." Tears prick your eyes, not from sadness but from recognition. The forgotten self takes your hand. Together, you walk toward the fogged mirror. The surface ripples as if reacting to your presence. You place your hand against the glass. The fog begins to clear, just a little. You see your eyes, only your eyes, tired, lost, but present. The forgotten self whispers, "This is how reconnection begins." Not all at once, but moment by moment. You breathe deeply. The mirror clears a little more. Suddenly, the fog inside the mirror swirls violently. Images appear behind the glass. A time you hid your sadness. A moment you pretended to be strong. The day you stopped dreaming. The friendships where you performed. The relationship where you abandoned your needs. The responsibilities that crushed your spark. These memories are not punishments. They are explanations. Every moment of disconnection had a cause, and the mirror is showing them because clarity requires honesty. The forgotten self places their hand next to yours. Don't look away. You hold your ground. The memories soften, because the truth is finally being seen. The mirror stabilizes. Your reflection becomes faintly visible, blurred but present. You see yourself for the first time in years. Not perfect, not functioning, not performing. Just there. The forgotten self says, "If you want to return to yourself, we must keep going." Your fingers tighten against the mirror. Light pulses from the center. The room holds its breath, and then the fog on the mirror softens as if responding to your breath. Your reflection slowly emerges, still faint, still incomplete, but undeniably you. The forgotten self stands beside you. Their voice is gentle. This is the first time you've looked at yourself without judgment. You swallow hard, because it's true. You have spent years avoiding yourself, avoiding your truth, your feelings, your fatigue, your unmet needs. You weren't running from life. You were running from the parts of yourself you did not know how to hold. But now, you stand still, and the mirror responds. The forgotten self moves in front of the mirror. They place your hand over your heart. You feel disconnected, they say, because you stopped hearing your inner voice. You blink. They continue, not because it left, but because it was drowned out by everything you built to survive. Images appear behind the mirror. Obligations, expectations, roles, routines, responsibilities, emotional labor, silence, pretending, performing. All the noise of your life. Your inner voice has been whispering beneath it all. I need rest. I don't want this. This hurts. I'm overwhelmed. This isn't me. I miss myself. But the noise was louder. The forgotten self says, disconnection isn't losing yourself. It's losing the ability to hear yourself. A sharp ache rises in your chest because you finally understand. The forgotten self moves behind you and places their hands on your shoulders. Your breathing slows. Your body softens. The fog on the mirror dissolves completely. Your reflection emerges, clear, steady, real. You see the exhaustion you've ignored, the longing you've suppressed, the pain you minimized, the dreams you postponed, the truth you silenced, the identity you've avoided, the softness you abandoned, the resilience you forgot. You are not who you became to survive. You are who survived. The forgotten self whispers, I never left you. You just stopped looking. Your chest tightens, but not from pain, from relief. Your reflection begins to speak. Its voice is your own. You feel numb, it says, because your heart got tired of feeling everything alone. You close your eyes. Tears fall before you're aware of them. The reflection continues. You didn't shut down because you didn't care. You shut down because you cared too much, for too long, without support, without rest, without honesty. This is the emotional truth beneath disconnection. Numbness is not emptiness. Numbness is exhausted feeling. Your emotions didn't disappear, they collapsed under the weight of being ignored. The forgotten self walks around you until they stand in front of the mirror. They lift your chin gently. To return to yourself, you must tell the truth. Not the truth others expect, not the truth you forced yourself to believe, but the truth that lives deep within your chest, the real truth. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm lonely. I'm disconnected. I'm not who I pretend to be. I want something different. As you think these truths, the mirror brightens. Honesty is not a destination. Honesty is a doorway, and you are standing at its threshold. The forgotten self steps closer. They place their hand over your heart again. You place your hand over theirs. Your breathing synchronizes. Your chest warms. Your reflection glows. The forgotten self whispers, "You don't reconnect with yourself by trying harder. You reconnect by allowing." Allowing rest, allowing emotion, allowing boundaries, allowing desire, allowing truth, allowing presence, allowing yourself to exist. Your body softens, as if releasing a weight you didn't know you were carrying. The forgotten self moves closer. Their outline dissolves into light. The light enters you, not violently, but gently, like warmth seeping into cold hands. The self you abandoned finally comes home. Your reflection stabilizes, alive, awake, present. You look into your own eyes, and for the first time in a long time, you recognize the person staring back. You whisper, "There you are." And the reflection smiles, your own smile, small but real. Connection restored. Not fully, not perfectly, but truly. The room shifts. The mirror expands into a window overlooking your inner world. You see the parts of you silenced, the parts you dimmed, the parts you denied, the parts you ignored, the parts you forgot, and you realize you cannot lose yourself. You can only walk away, but you can always return. Disconnection is not disappearance. Disconnection is distance, and distance can always be crossed. The forgotten self's voice echoes. Presence is not a feeling. Presence is a practice. You do not feel connected when life is easy. You feel connected when you choose yourself, especially when life is not. The mirror fades. The room brightens. The air warms. You stand taller. A sensation spreads through your body, subtle but unmistakable. You are here. Not half present, not numbed, not drifting. Here. You whisper, "I'm back." Your voice echoes in the quiet room, as if the walls themselves are relieved to hear it. Because this is the truth. You were never gone. You were waiting. Waiting for rest. Waiting for honesty. Waiting for space. Waiting for presence. Waiting for you. And now, finally, you have arrived. If this reflection helped you understand your distance from yourself, if it helped you breathe, or remember something you'd forgotten, or feel something you've been avoiding, stay with me. This is Thought Kharizmah, where thought meets meaning. Subscribe, and let's walk the quiet path back into ourselves together. Until next time, stay aware.